Explorer. My name is Austin. Thank you for coming over to my channel and checking me out. Today, I'm just gonna explain what exactly happened during my travel from Budapest to where I'm currently standing underneath one of these cottonwood trees that are like the bane of my existence. I couldn't find a more appropriate place to explain this story of what's happened in my life over the past 36 hours, maybe longer than that. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin. I guess let's start with where I left off on Thursday night. Now, I really wasn't in a rush situation up until the point that I had to leave, because I got off work at 2 in the morning, my plane left at 6. So I had 4 hours from the time I left my apartment until my plane was supposed to leave the tarmac. Now, I had everything packed and ready to go. I filmed my Airbnb review. I filmed what is now became a packing video because I simply didn't have the time to turn it into a airplane travel video like I wanted to. I planned on doing something really cool with it, but it just didn't work out because by the time I left the apartment, I thought I had plenty of time. I could have called a taxi. I could have made it to the airport in like 30-40 minutes, no problem. Instead, I decided to take public transportation. Now, I had a book of tickets left for public transportation. I bought a 10-pack because my month had expired. And I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna let these go to waste, so I'll just take public transport there, and then I'll give the remaining tickets away. No big deal. Well, on the way to the bus stop, I get there, I reach for my wallet, which is where the tickets are, which that particular bus stop, because this, you gotta remember, this is 2 o'clock in the morning, so I only have the night transit, which is in different locations, and there's only a few buses running, and I don't think there are even any trams running at like 2, 3 in the morning. So where I had to go ended up being about a 10 to 15 minute walk just to get to the bus stop. I get there, and I realize I don't have my wallet. It's not there, and that's where the tickets were in order to get on the bus, which, see, I still have several. It's a shame I never ended up being able to give these away. Maybe they'll still be good by the time I come back to Budapest and I can reuse them. Well, I ended up freaking out when I couldn't find my wallet, so I missed that bus that came by. The next one didn't come for like another 15 minutes, and I started retracing my steps, mind you, carrying somewhere around 100 pounds of luggage, and I've got my pool behind, I've got my big backpack, I've got my smaller backpack that I kind of make my day pack. So I'm lugging all this around the city, trying to find this at night. It's black, it just blends in with the road and everything. Well, I end up getting to a traffic light and decide, you know what, look, maybe I'm just freaking out over nothing, let me go through all of my luggage. So I pull this thing apart, and I end up sitting it on my suitcase, and a few minutes later, after I'm going through my other backpack, I just happen to look over and notice it's hanging from the tip of this strap. Like, how lucky is that? It pulled it out of my pocket and stuck on that loop. So I ran back to the bus stop, waited a few minutes to catch the bus, where I had to make a transfer to another bus that took me to the airport. So now we're approaching 3:30 in the morning. It did not go very well. I've got to find a different spot to film. This tree is driving me crazy. Okay, this should be much better. Now that tree won't drive me absolutely bonkers. So here it is, 3:30 in the morning, finally get to the airport. Oh man, I don't want to go in too much granular detail because there was a lot, but I'll try and run through it quickly. The bus let us off, said I should go left for the terminal that I needed to go to, went left forever. The terminal wasn't there, I should have gone right, the bus lied to me. There's a ton of people in there. I'm freaking out. I walk in and it's just, you know what? I'm gonna draw you a visual for this part because I think it's appropriate and needed. I finally get to my terminal and I see this, just a massive crowd of people. I'm freaking out at this point thinking there's no way I'm gonna get through check-in and make it to my plane in time. But whatever, I'm gonna give it my best concerted effort. I go to the line to check in my luggage, but the lady won't even let me proceed because I didn't download the Wizz Air app. Fun fact, if you fly Wizz Air, you have to download their app, and not just that, there's another app that you have to download. I can't remember the name of it, so that they can see your boarding pass. It's basically a PDF viewer. I don't know why, but you have to download a specific PDF viewer just to view your boarding pass. It's stupid. She wouldn't even let me stand in line and download the app. She made me download both of the apps, which took like another 5 minutes before she even let me stand in line. Fast forward through about 25 minutes of zigzagging back and forth through this line, I get to the counter, I check in my luggage, and the lady asks me if I have anything in my luggage that shouldn't be there. She didn't speak the best English, but she pointed to a sign. I reviewed the sign, no big deal. I do have a drone. I explained that to her, and she says, okay, is it in there? And I said, yes, I have two, one in there and one in my carry-on. And long story short, she wouldn't let me have it on the carry-on. So I had to pull this out of my backpack and find some way to shove it in my luggage, which was cram-packed. I'm sure you saw it in the last video. If you didn't, I don't even know if that last video is worth watching. I'm frustrating. I'm venting. I'm sorry. I'm venting. Luckily, the lady was like really nice. She helped me cram the drone in my suitcase and, you know, got me checked in as quickly as possible, and I hauled butt. As I'm racing through the airport to get to the terminal, I realize, oh shit, I'm not staying in the Schengen. Budapest is in Schengen. Bucharest is not. Romania is one of the countries that is not part of the Schengen. This means I now have to go through passport control, which I did not initially plan on because I'm an idiot. I get to passport control and the line is worse than it was at check-in. I mean, it was brutal, savage, especially considering I have to go into the all passport lane. I can't go through the EU fast pass, at least I don't think I can. My passport has one of those electronic cards on it, but it's not an EU passport. It's obviously an American passport. So anyways, I stand in the longest line available at passport control because that's the only one open, and I stood there for probably, oh man, it felt like an eternity, but it was probably only about 30-35 minutes, and I was legitimately going to miss my plane at this point. They had already called over the intercom, last boarding. It was like 5:35 or something like that. Plane is supposed to take off at 6. The whole time I'm standing in the passport control line, the only thing I'm thinking of is what am I gonna do? Like I knew for sure I was missing my plane, and I had nowhere to stay. I mean, I probably could have called up Mike on Skype and be like, hey man, can I crash at your place or whatever for the night? I mean, the sun was already up at this point. The sun rises at like 4 a.m. in Budapest. Well, I'm on the phone on Skype with John, and we're looking at options. Like the next plane doesn't leave out, you know, till tomorrow, and it was $300, and I'm like, I can't afford $300. I've already, you know, spent all my money on the new place that I'm going to. We're looking at options to take a train there. It's just, I knew for certain I had missed my plane, and I was already trying to come up with a contingency plan on how I was gonna make it to Bucharest. They ended up opening another passport lane, and I said, screw it, and I just ran straight to it. Of course, there's a crowd of people also mobbing to it, but nope, no f***s were given. No f***s were given. I flew up there to the front of the line, pissing a ton of people off, and he ended up going through my passport, and then I ran to my next terminal, which was confusing because it wasn't labeled properly. I had to go downstairs, whatever. I made it. I can't believe it. I freaking made it to the plane, and I mean barely. When I walked up to that terminal, they were closing the rope and getting ready to walk away, and I'm like, whoa, wait, let me on. And I really was. I was the last poor person out the door, and they almost didn't let me. Needless to say, it was a very stressful time for me traveling. So I didn't have any time to bust out my camera. Obviously, I didn't get any sleep. Oh man, so I didn't film anything. I didn't even have my cell phone. My cell phone ended up getting locked away in a bag, and I tried to sleep on the plane. I couldn't. So I made it. Awesome. I'm in my new place, which is amazing. It's beautiful and has a ton of awesome features. It's really, really a great apartment. I can't wait to show you. But the lack of sleep eventually got to me. I passed out, and I didn't wake up until like, it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. And then I just lounged around and vegged. It was just so stressful. I needed some veg time. So, starting tomorrow, I will actually go out and venture and explore Bucharest and take you with me. I'm gonna look up some fun facts. I know nothing about this city. I know nothing except for there's a building around here, their parliament building is the second largest government building in the world, the first being the Pentagon in the United States. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if they'll actually let me in and explore. Probably not gonna be able to fly my drone anywhere near there. In fact, I should probably look up the laws in Bucharest about drones. But anyways, I'm here and I'm ending the vlog. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow will be more exciting, I promise. Bye.